Nothing new gets built alone. Not one thing. You can have the idea, you can buy the pieces, you can have the nerve, and you're still gonna have to pick up the phone and ask somebody for a favor. Sometimes there's a little guilt in that, a little voice that says, who am I? Who am I to ask? Who am I to take up somebody's Saturday? But here's what I've learned making this show. When you got good friends and those friends believe in you, they don't hear a favor. They just show up. No score, no ledger, no what do I get out of it. They just show up. James Ghareeb, beyond being a talented artist, is one of those people. This is one of the first episodes we ever shot back in April. So some of what we get into today is where his head was right then in that moment. And same as episode 1, where the damn door near came off. We had some things go sideways. Wrong equipment, wrong calls. Look, we're experimenting. We're changing it up. That's the deal when you're building something. And I'm learning to give myself a little grace on that, because you either wait till it's perfect, which is never, or you pick a day and you start. So I'll be jumping in to help guide this conversation, and man, with James, did we pick a hell of a moment to start. He asked me questions in this episode I still don't have a good answer to. He'll tell you why he almost didn't put a certain line in a song and what it cost him to be that honest for a living. He'll tell you about this insane summer in Lebanon that ended with his family getting out of the country with no airport left to fly out of. And, well, there's a car. A regular boring car he cannot stop seeing everywhere he drives. He nearly wrecked over it. And it turns into a song. One that he plays in the truck bed for us. It's called Time Enough, and my God, I hope you fall in love with it like I did. Trust me, you're gonna wanna know how much time is enough. This is a feeling you've known your whole life. You've just never heard it like this.
This is our time. It's a crazy cosmic journey. I feel fine. Something's so right. This is our time. Cause I'm tired of trying to walk the dotted line. There's no waiting, hesitating, baby. This is our time.
Wreckage.
That is the theme.
James Ghareeb, Wreckage.
Now, I know James. I know James, so there wasn't a lot of small talk to get through here. We just went straight to the deep end.
Entry point for the deeper question is, who are you when the thing that you feel defined you is gone? You had a relationship, you're a man that's figuring out your identity outside of it, who you are as an artist, as a friend, standing in this open space, trying to figure out what fills it. But it's, beyond that, in these past 2 weeks, not just this relationship now, but your home. And the bombings and terror and unknown that are happening over there. Emotional, physical wreckage.
Yeah.
In both ways, it's so universally relatable. It's times in life, so much shit is out of our control. It comes to tornado, and you have to figure out how you survive through it without just feeling like you're just surviving.
Yeah. I feel like I'm super blessed in the fact that I get to wake up. So every day I get to wake up is a good day. I think there are hard days. Today's actually one of them. I think healing and grieving and going through the journey of life when there's pain involved isn't really a linear thing. It's not a linear experience. There's days where you feel incredible, moments where you feel incredible, and then out of nowhere this like black cloud comes over.
Can I ask why today was a hard day?
Yeah, I think part of living in this world where you have to act like everything's normal.
Why do you feel like you have to act like everything's normal?
I think
And what defines normal?
acting like there's not an overwhelming presence over you at all times.
Do you feel like you have to act like that?
No, but I don't want to drain my friends and squeeze them out like wet rags at all times. Today was a rougher day for me because I think last week I had such a busy week. I had a guest in town, and I didn't want to make it about me. And so I compartmentalized as much as I could what's happening with me and my relationships. what's happening at home. And I gave myself like certain times of the day to really just think about it. And I tried to be present as much as I could. But as the weekend came to a close, I realized that I didn't really give myself enough space to feel everything. And so when I gave myself that minute of walk back into my house alone, all the feelings kind of reset, you know, and the thoughts, the pain, the missing that person, the constant checking in on my family. I'm talking numerous times a day. In the morning, before I go to bed, every time they're awake, I'm checking in on them. When you're in these kinds of moments, these like seasons of life, and I'm trying to refer to it as a season because no matter what, I'm going to let this pass. I have to let it pass. I have to choose to let it pass. I need days like today to really get me out of here.
To pivot a little, I feel like it's a different kind of heartbreak that's happening with the bombings in Beirut right now from a breakup.
Yeah.
And can you tell the story of the last time you were there and that you had to leave? You also preface that you lived there for 10 years. It was home for a lot of family still is. And the last time that really happened, you were there and, and had to escape, evacuate.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell that story?
Yeah, I'll make it brief.
Don't make it brief. We got time.
We got time?
We got nowhere to be.
All right. Yeah, I try to go back every 2 years, every year if I can. My entire bloodline still lives there. My immediate family's in the States. Lived there for about 10 years. Spent every summer there pretty much growing up. And then one regular summer in 2006, we were there.
How old were you? Maybe like...
I was 11,
13,
12?
Yeah.
And war broke out. They had bombed our airport. Israel bombed our airport. And to preface, like, my family, myself, we are Team Lebanon. And we don't take sides of anyone or any particular group. We just love our state. We love our city. We love our land. And yeah, it was just different parts of Lebanon that were getting hit harder than others. The current war that's going on is the last time, like this, since 2006, that was the last significant event. Lebanon's always been bombarded by Israel and surrounding states, unfortunately. But they had bombed our airport. We could not leave. We were scheduled to leave like a couple weeks later. And then the U.S. asked the U.S. citizens to leave, to start evacuating. But without an airport, you can't really go anywhere unless you go by car or ship to outside of state lines. And I remember hearing the bombs, hearing the planes, like these fighter planes fly over us and drop bombs. I remember my brother said he still remembers the smell of like the fumes. We evacuated to the mountains the first couple days.
What do you mean the mountains?
So we left the city of Beirut, which is like where I live is like about 10 minutes away from the airport where it was being bombed. And we went up to the mountains where it's a little bit more safe. It's crazy how like the dichotomy of like certain parts of Lebanon are safer than others when all of Lebanon is important and all of Lebanon matters. And we went up to the mountains to stay with my aunt. It was like 30 of my family members just in this building. My brother was trying to connect. Back in the day, you had to connect to like the power cord to connect to the internet or whatever it is, the dial line, and the dial-up. It was making those noises, and we were trying to connect to the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon.
Autistic parrot.
You're right. And we got connected to the U.S. Embassy. They're like, all right, you can pack up to like 20 pounds, 25 pounds worth of stuff in your handbag. Everyone's allowed one handbag. Meet at the embassy at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and from there we'll get you out. Ended up going to the U.S. Embassy a couple of times, being turned away, and then one time, like super early in the morning, we got on one of those U.S. military helicopters. But yeah, I think the hardest part about getting on that helicopter to evacuate to Cyprus was, I mean, it was so bittersweet. And I think in that moment, 11 years old, I was like, in the moment I didn't know that this was going to affect me later on in life, but I think that's when the survival guilt really hit. Is I had to.
Is it, in a way, is the guilt like we're getting to leave and be okay, but so much of my family is.
They couldn't. They weren't allowed to. They didn't have citizenships. I'm blessed. I'm grateful for my country and my military to get me out. But it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure. Is like taking a little handbag and being able to get on a plane while looking at my family staying there. It felt surreal. It felt unfair. It felt undeserved in a sense. They took us to Cyprus. We slept in like these little cots, and then they shipped us back to Baltimore. Actually, there's a huge plane that shipped us back to Baltimore, laid over in Rome, that filled up the gas and kept going. It was the longest flight of my life. And I remember as soon as I got out of the plane in Baltimore, my uncle had given me this Burberry hat. I was so excited about this Burberry hat. It was so cool to like wear super cool things then. And I get off the plane and a bird takes a poop on it. But yeah, we got interviewed, me and my brother and my sister. I still have that clip. It's crazy. It was a crazy time. And then the war ended and we kept going back like nothing happened. That's the resilience of the Lebanese people is outstanding. One thing about the Lebanese people, you'll see videos of this, if there's a war going on, they're still out. They're living their life like every day normally, because they don't know what can happen at any moment. And I think it's just a reminder to live your life every day like it's the last day.
Evacuees that arrived here this morning, James, Alan, and Cristal, an ordeal, I'm sure. Talk about the conditions you were in and experiencing in Lebanon.
Well, where we were staying, it was pretty safe, but like 5 minutes away from us, the bombs, the destruction that was caused was really, really sad and devastating. And we could hear the flights coming in and out over our head and the vibrations of the bomb. And it was just pretty terrifying.
Yeah, pretty frightening for you to go through.
Very, very. Because, like, as I told you, it was the first time. And, like, it's very, very scary.
And you didn't know what was going to happen next?
No.
Because you actually went to the north to try to...
Man, this is what makes me feel alive. Like, I didn't get to see this in Illinois. I did get to see this in Beirut. I think California reminds me so much of Beirut and Lebanon.
Some days it's so foggy, and the ocean, when you got the ocean all the time, you get to see all its flavors and colors. Rather, when you're on vacation, you just hope for sunshine, and you don't realize how amazing the beach and that view can be on a day like today.
Oh yeah,
when
man.
The sun is hidden.
Yeah. It peaks out when it wants to.
Yeah, but also it's nice to settle into a different mood, which it seems like what you've been trying to do.
Settling into a different mood?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. God damn, I want to be in a better mood. And I'm tired of being not in a good mood. So that's why this week is a hard reset. I'm done feeling this way. I'm done. So this is me telling myself, hold yourself accountable. You're going to feel better in no time.
Gunpoint? Is that what this is?
Huh? Hold yourself accountable, James. Okay? I'm done feeling like this.
Just do it!
Just do it!
Do it, James! Be happy, James!
I'm tired of this, Grandpa!
So at this point in the conversation, we ran into a few snags in production. Nothing worth explaining, but we pick it back up on something I didn't expect. Really just talking about this show, which for about a year existed entirely in my mind. Just a guy at a party going, so it's a truck, and at the end there's an artist, and yeah, you get the point. But now it's actually here and running. So I asked James if any of his songs ever start that way.
You deserve every inch of that.
It's just a cool endeavor for me, and I think you're good at this. You've always had a natural ability to just feel comfortable with putting yourself out in front of people. For 8 years, I've been making podcasts, audio-only podcasts, behind the scenes, giving my talent so other people can rise to the top of the charts. And per se be the face or take the recognition and acclaim. And you know, I talk about my work and so many people go, "Oh, you did that? That's so cool." But it's the, "Oh, you did that. How would they ever know? I've never put me first." I'm really excited about this endeavor, but I'm nervous as hell for that same reason of putting myself in a place where, you know, you step out and you allow people to criticize you, judge you, leave comments on you. And
As long as
you and your music and putting that out, like, do you hold on to that? Do you think about that? Do you see it? Does it affect you?
It used to affect me a lot more back in the day, especially as I was first starting out, you know, and I was not very talented by any means. And I really worked super hard on my writing, my music, my ability to perform and play live in front of people. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm being authentic to myself and putting out stuff that I want to put out. Yesterday I was with some friends getting some lunch, and I was telling them about this line that I had just wrote. And I was like, I'm so scared to put this in a song because it's so vulnerable. And maybe I put it in a poem instead, or is that too vulnerable again? Like, but I think that's also what, like, that's who I am. That's what I want to do. That's like how I feel alive. Are you gonna go to the other side?
Yeah. So it's quiet.
It's quiet over there.
I didn't even know this was back here. This is sick.
Yeah, this is dude. These are the burnt cars from the fire. Right behind this. Maybe I'll see them.
Where are you looking?
They're right behind this. You'll see them. This was all the RVs. Remember, they got all the houses got burnt here. See, that's a good analogy. Terrible though, but you can see the grass regrew. See? Look at all the cars.
Yeah, I see it. Wow.
That's wild.
Life rebuilds, man. Life
regrows.
So what? It's a Monday or Tuesday out here, and
Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and nobody's here.
Wreckage. Do you feel that in life right now?
Wreckage? Yeah, I think, you know when they say when it rains, it pours?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that anymore. I think when it rains, it tsunamis. And I think that's what's been happening. Just a lot of different facets, like all compounding at the same time, whether it's love, relationships, friendships, war, work. There's just a lot of heaviness, I feel. And I feel like wreckage would be a good term to describe it, unfortunately. But with wreckage comes cleanup, and with cleanup comes a new start. And so I'm trying to shift from wreckage to cleanup now.
When's the last time you felt wreckage?
Probably a couple years ago. It wasn't this bad. It's just a regular, you know, hurting feeling, again, with relationships and such. But this one feels a little different for some reason. I think I still have like hope in everything that's going on. Hope in the war that it gets better soon. It ends quicker. Families not devastated. The innocent people are not devastated and hurt. Hope in the relationship that something will flourish again. Hope of realization, externally and internally. Like, yeah. So I think that's been the hardest part, is like there's hope. And sometimes hope can be dangerous when you need to be completely focused on something else.
We say that in the crime world quite often. And I think it just comes down to interpersonal relationships in general, but hope can be dangerous. Hope is a dangerous, fickle thing, especially in the sense of recently I was working with somebody on a case in which we believed was a wrongful conviction. And if you can think about when you're investigating and you're finding things in breadcrumbs that point to the narrative that you want, the outcome that you want, was really difficult to share those discoveries or those pieces of hope with the man in jail or his family. Because what if it didn't go anywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so the same can be true in our lives when you desperately want things to happen and you get breadcrumbs that point to that direction. I think there's a balance of don't be numb. Don't let yourself be rid of excitement and chance, you know? Those can be motivating things.
It's like a balance between hope and reality.
Yeah. Sometimes I think it is healthy to not consider a backup plan, to go, this has to be the outcome. And you drive yourself with such discipline to make it there. But I think I've operated like that for so long. And especially with this series, I had such a vision of what this would be. Right now, I thought it would be driving around, you know? Right now, I didn't think about how loud this fucking traffic was going to be. But I'm trying to let go of those things and let life guide its course and not let the hope of the vision that I have get me down.
Yeah, I think that's the balance of like hope and reality, right? Like too much hope is dangerous. Just like too much ego is dangerous and too little ego is dangerous. I think if you can live in a world where you can feel confident in the hope and do the right steps to get what you want, that's a safe hope, right?
70.
That guy knows his trucks.
And what's the goals you have that you're holding on hope for?
The hope.
Right now, yeah, or things I hope this works out. I'm working towards this because I hope my life can change in a new direction towards this goal. I'm taking these actions in the hope of achieving this result.
Peace. I want peace in my life internally, and I'd love peace externally. My family, my friends, myself.
What do you do to achieve peace?
What do I need?
What do you do?
Take a week off of work and focus on myself, feed love into myself, and give back to me and try to live in the reality, in the present moment. It's really difficult sometimes to do so, but we're here.
Making merch.
Making some new merch.
Yeah.
Got a new website, playing some new shows coming up.
So this is a conversation between you and me about your recent merch.
Oh, God. Okay, let's hear it.
And I want to play out the conversation with you.
All right, so we're reading a conversation that you and I had regarding my merch.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Are you going to be Alex?
I'll be Alex, yeah.
All right.
Do you want to be Method and be James?
Yeah, I'll act as James.
Okay.
All right. Hit it, Fergie.
Okay. When you go to Costco next, will you get me a pack of steak?
Only if you buy my merch. James sends a photo of a candle.
Yeah. Then you proceed to send me a tree sketch logo with the names James Ghareeb
Under it.
in cursive.
Do you like this?
It looks like the tattoo every dude in Colorado gets on his leg.
Ha 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 ha. Perfect. What does my music sound like to you?
Your music is about feeling depth with room to grow. Give the tree room to grow.
What does my music remind you of?
Apparently that answer wasn't good enough for you.
No, I didn't love that.
No, yeah, okay.
It was actually a great answer.
Visually?
Yeah, visually. Like when you hear my music, what do you see?
And you spelled it Yosui.
Yeah, me and texting and writing. Actually, English as a whole is not. I'm not good at it.
Handprints in the concrete. Your first car. An oversized hoodie. And making out in the rain.
Making out in the rain. I love that. Thank you. Okay, goodbye.
So that's 10% of all future sales. Right, James?
Buy a fucking candle, Alex. This is true. This is true. I can show you my text messages. But you know what? I took that. I took it, and I haven't changed the merch yet, but I will.
Okay.
I will take
so
that.
I'm glad I put all that effort in for absolutely
I'll save
nothing.
this.
My feedback was worthless.
No, thank you. Honestly,
Yeah.
it meant the world.
Let's talk about time enough.
Yeah. Um, as cheesy as it is, I think I found myself like constantly seeing this person's car everywhere I went. Literally. It's funny how like you start to notice things that literally had no value to me, like someone else's car, what they drive.
What was the car?
It's a Mazda.
Mazda makes you feel some sort of way.
Apparently so now.
Okay.
And I kept seeing it everywhere I went. And I was like, Jesus Christ, everyone's got her car and the same color. And, you know, that like just became a thing. And I'm like, every time I hop in the car to go somewhere, I just saw another one. Jesus.
It's like it makes so many.
Why do they make so many?
I don't know.
But yeah, so
Multiple models, varieties, but it's just the one. Just the CX-5 that causes you heartbreak.
That's the one.
Okay.
But it's just a car, right? It's just a car. It doesn't have any
didn't mean that.
value. I'm sorry, babe. Yeah. So it was just about like, you know, seeing visuals that reminded me of this person consistently, and almost like I was on the phone with my buddy coming back from Palm Springs like a week or two ago, and a car drove by that was the Mazda, and I was like, oh my God. I like did a double take, and I was like, Jordan, I'm sorry, bro. I almost just crashed because I thought that was her in the car, and I'm getting really vulnerable. Sorry. But yeah, so
That's good. That's what we want here.
yeah, I mean,
It's a safe place.
so it's kind of just like about like, you know, it's not about the car itself, but it's about like how time moves so slow when you're in a time of despair, missing someone, or you know, going through a rough period of time. But time moves so fast when you're having so much fun and love and whatever it is. The time moves fast, and I wish I could replace the two to slow down those moments that I had with this person, so I can live them in more depth. But I think that's just a reminder to stay more present in real life.
Have you ever felt that time warp in other experiences in life?
Yeah, when I play shows, it feels like I'm on stage for 5 minutes. When I'm on stage for like an hour and a little bit. When I'm with my friends, those beautiful moments that I hold so dearly, when I'm next to my family, when I'm traveling, time moves fast. But when you sit in silence, when you're sitting alone, and when you're grieving and going through hard times, like it's just slow, man. And I ask the questions like, how much time does one need? And is time enough to move forward? Do I need something else besides time? And there's a line in there that says, time's a healer and no rush. Everyone always says, time will fix it, give it time. Time will heal you. But why is it in no rush when I need it to be? And why is it in such a rush when I don't want it to be? And so that's what this song's about. And coping and little things that remind you of these people here and there, and finding stuff of theirs, and just kind of continuously being in the forefront of your mind. And then the physical objects remind you that they still exist.
It's beautiful. I'm excited. Excited to hear you play it.
Yeah, thank you.
How many people drive your car? Look out the window and there you are. Almost crashed, I slammed the brakes. Every time I double take. 3 months later and I'm a wreck, 'cause I just found a sock you left. Time's a healer and no rush. How much time is time enough? I can't accept the fact you're gone and you're not coming back. No, I can't handle that. thought of you just seems to last. I can't accept the fact you're gone and you're not coming back. No, I can't handle it. The thought of you just seems to last. Tried to keep you off my mind, kissing random girls each night. No connection in this bar. Broken love won't get me far. But I still go home alone, search for something in my phone to say you finally came around. And it's time to settle down. I can't accept the fact you're gone and you're not coming back. No, I can't handle it. The thought of you just seems to last. I can't accept the fact you're gone and you're not coming back. No, I can't handle it. The thought of you just seems to last.
I got the chance, and I ain't gonna waste it. Honey dripping romance, and the hours have faded. This world keeps going